Hey guys, how's it going? I want to show you guys my new laptop that I got to replace my Veo S and my Lenovo ThinkPad X240 and my other small portable laptops. This is the Dell Latitude 7370. It is actually a 13-inch laptop, but has the same chassis as a 11-inch laptop. As you can see, the screen here is an Infinity Edge display, so the edges basically have almost no bezel to them. Maybe I'll start up the laptop for you to see better. All right. Yeah, this bezel is very thin. So basically they put a 13-inch screen inside this 11-inch chassis, which makes this laptop really small, portable, and handy. So that's part of the reason why I got it. I really like the keyboard as well. It's almost as good as the ThinkPad, which has the best keyboard in the business. So this is still really good keyboard. Touchpad's also nice. Yeah, and because it's the Dell Latitude, it's very reliable. The build quality is good. I mean, it feels really solid. A lot of people commented on my Veo S video saying how, oh, why are you banging the laptop so hard and stuff. Well, the Veo S is supposed to be a business laptop. It's supposed to be able to handle a lot of abuse. And if I had a laptop like the ThinkPad or the Dell Latitude, this one, then they should be able to handle a lot of tapping, right? So I just want to test that out. I think this one does have better build quality than the Veo S, so I do prefer the build quality of the Dell Latitude. I think ThinkPad's also good, but I will already show you guys my ThinkPad X1 Yoga, which is a different kind of laptop, not exactly for the same purpose as this one. This one is meant to be more just as a purely portable laptop for traveling and stuff. It is really nice. All right, so yeah, it's a 13-inch laptop with 13-inch screen, 11-inch chassis, really nice Infinity Edge display, military standards. That's why I like business laptops. I like ThinkPads. I like Dell Latitudes. I like HP EliteBooks. I compare to the consumer laptops, they're way better. People like to say that, oh, MacBooks are much better build quality compared to PCs. But the thing is, they can't really compare MacBooks with the ordinary consumer laptops because MacBooks are made with much better materials. So you have to compare them with the business notebooks because that's where the price range is at. That's where they're competing. You know, you gotta look at the price. MacBooks and the business laptops are on the same price, like ThinkPads or this one. No, it's the Ultrabook. The only thing I don't like about this laptop is this Core M processor. I don't understand why Dell made this. I don't know why Dell made this laptop have a Core M processor when the Dell XPS 13 has a Kaby Lake Core i5 i7 processor. And that has just a slim chassis. So I was wondering, well, Dell, why did you put, if you're worried about thickness, that's fine. If you're worried about weight, that's fine. But the XPS 13 is also thin, it's also light, and that has a Core i5 and i7. I don't understand why they had to put an M processor in this one. That's the only thing I don't like about this laptop. Otherwise, the weight is really good. It's very thin, and it weighs only 2.5 pounds, which is only 0.2 pounds heavier than the Veo S, which I already said is the lightest business notebook I've ever tested. So 2.5 pounds is really good. If you look at the ports here, it's a little bit more future-proof than the Veo. The Veo had a lot of good ports, but most of them were legacy, like VGA. This one has two USB-Cs. You have a micro HDMI here. The cable might be harder to get, but you can still get it. Micro HDMI. You have a SIM card slot here for traveling. Then on the other side, you have micro SD. I actually appreciate this a lot because micro SDs are more common than full-size SDs now, I think. So that's appreciated. Headphone jack. So yeah, that's always appreciated. Not like the iPhone 7 doesn't have that. And a full-size USB port. So that's the way you should do it, man. It's not like the new MacBook Pros. They put all USB-Cs, don't give you any other option. But with PCs like the Dell, you get the best of both worlds. You get USB-C and you get USB-A. So that's always nice to have and very appreciated. So yeah, that's the Dell XPS. I mean, not XPS, Dell Latitude 7370. This is a business notebook. They took the screen from the XPS 13, put it onto this notebook. So it's basically a more better, well-built, it's basically the business version of the XPS 13, a more well-built version of the XPS 13, which is why I like it a lot. The screen is just amazing. Let's look at this edge-to-edge screen. It's so beautiful. Unfortunately, because the edge-to-edge screen, the webcam has to be down here, but I don't really care too much since I'm not going to do too much video conferencing on this. And the other gripe I have with these is the M processor, but that's also okay because this is not going to be, I'm not going to use this for video editing or playing games or anything, so I'm also okay with that. I'm just going to be using this for basic web browsing and stuff. So yeah, that's the Dell Latitude 7370, and it's now replacing my VOS. I feel that the VOS is definitely more powerful, especially considering its weight. This is 2.5 pounds. The VOS is 2.3 pounds. But the VOS has a Core i7 processor, and it has more legacy ports, I guess. There's a full-size HDMI, VGA, and stuff. But this one has a better screen, arguably better build quality, and has more future-proof ports, and almost the same weight, so I think that's why I chose the Dell Latitude. Anyways, guys, if you guys want a really lightweight, good build quality travel notebook, then I think the Dell Latitude 7370 is pretty good. You also might want to pick up the XPS 13, since it has a Core i5, i7 processor, 7th generation actually, so that's going to be more powerful, but it's just not going to have the same kind of business class reliability as the Latitude series has, and that's why I picked this one up instead. So anyways, guys, that's it. I think the keyboard should also be spill resistant as well, and I believe this keyboard is actually better than the XPS 13 as well, the Latitude keyboard. So yeah, anyways, that's it. Let me know if you have any comments, and as always, thanks for watching my videos. Subscribe if you like these kind of videos. Wait, one other thing I want to mention is that this laptop has a magnesium lid. Now there's two options for this laptop. You can get the magnesium lid like this one, or you can get a carbon fiber lid, which looks nicer, but you have to pony up for the extra resolution. I think that's only on the 3200 by the 1800 screen. Now this one is only 1920 by 1080, which is perfectly fine for a laptop of this size. I really think it's unnecessary, and yeah, it's pretty much a useless upgrade if you go to the 1800p screen, because it's such a small screen anyways. It's already really sharp with this resolution, and guys who know me knows that I prefer lower resolutions because it saves on the battery life, and also since all our images and stuff are compressed on Facebook and videos on YouTube are compressed, it actually looks better on a lower resolution than on a higher resolution. So that's why yeah, this is a 1080p screen. I do not want to go for the 1800p option, but it's too bad that only that option comes with the carbon fiber lid, but you can find that on other reviews on YouTube. One other thing I want to mention is that this laptop I bought on eBay for only $600 because it's refurbished, and at that price it is a really good deal. For brand new business laptops like the Latitude, EliteBook, ThinkPad, they compete very well with the MacBook in terms of the materials used, the build quality, the performance and stuff. Actually, most of these laptops will be more powerful than the MacBook, because the MacBooks are really overpriced for their specs, especially the new generation. So if you guys really don't need to have OS X, if you guys have to have OS X, then by all means go for the MacBook. But if you really don't need to have OS X, then I recommend you guys take a look at these business notebooks instead. Brand new, they are around the same price as the MacBook Pro. Some a little bit higher, some a little bit lower, but generally around the same price. They're spec'd higher. They have about the same good build quality as the MacBooks do, and if you find them used or refurbished on eBay, they can be a massive discount, like 60%, 70% discounts, and that's really good value. I bought this for only $600, and this is a 2016 edition, and brand new, I think it would go for like over 2,000. I think like 1,500, 1,600 plus, and so I saved like $1,000 by buying it used or refurbished. So yeah, I just want to tell you guys, if you want really good value, then check out these business notebooks online. Get a used ThinkPad or refurbished ThinkPad or Latitude or EliteBook, because they really are good value for the price. So yep, check them out. And as always, if you like this video, then subscribe to me. I have a lot of other videos like this. And as always, thanks for watching. Hey guys, today I want to show you a few cool new things that I've done and I've gotten. First of all, I had the Dell Latitude. This used to be my Windows machine. Now I've installed Ubuntu on it, and this is actually the first time I've installed a full-fledged Linux OS as the main OS on the computer. Like before, I would only use Linux as a VM, as kind of a secondary OS and dual boot. But now this is my main my main OS on this computer, and I use this computer because it's kind of my spare computer. But yeah, this Ubuntu is really, really cool. It basically reminds me of OS X a lot, which makes sense because Apple MacBooks are also Unix based. OS X is Unix based, right? And of course Ubuntu Linux are Unix based operating systems. But yeah, you have the terminal and stuff. That's all here. Whoops, actually, my Xperia is a little bit aggressive with the zooming. Sorry about that. Okay. Yep. It looks really modern. I didn't go for Linux Mint. I know that's the other popular one because that one looks a little bit too much like Windows for me. This one looks a little bit more unique, but still very modern, and kind of reminds me of OS X. Like the settings, for example, looks almost exactly like OS X. I mean, this settings screen might be very familiar to you who have used a MacBook, right? Very, very familiar. Terminal here as well, very similar. And of course, it comes with LibreOffice pre-installed, which is great because I use them anyways. I pre-install those anyways. This also reminds me of Finder, but yeah, you guys might have noticed that Ubuntu, at least the latest version, looks very similar to OS X or Mac OS. I guess I should say now Mac OS. It looks very similar to Mac OS now. But yeah, that's one thing I wanted to show you guys, and this is Spotlight basically. The equivalent of Spotlight for Ubuntu is that Linux is really cool. It's supremely fast. Like this computer was running Windows 10, and before I installed this, and that was, you know, Windows 10 is a good OS and everything. That's the OS you want to use if you want to have the widest availability of programs, and of course if you want to run games, you basically have to use Windows, and it has the widest program compatibility. A lot of legacy applications. But if you guys really want a fast OS without all the slowdown of Windows, then get Linux. Linux is supremely fast. Just the time it takes to open anything is like it's lightning speed, you know, like instantaneous response, very few crashes. Everything just responds really fast. Whereas with Windows, sometimes, you know, you would get a spinner and stuff. You had to wait. The computer freezes up sometimes. That's really annoying. But one advantage of Linux is that this doesn't really happen that often. It's just very, very snappy OS. So yeah, that's just one thing I wanted to show, is that I've done a new conversion of my computer to Linux, and it's very cool.